Welcome back, you guys. This is your second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update for Tuesday, August the 11th. Happy Tuesday, you guys. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday. Let's jump right into it. So many of you guys have reached out to me and you've told me that you still haven't even received your first stimulus check, let alone your second stimulus check, right? So, I've been paying attention to what's going on with that first stimulus check. I've got some information for you guys. I've got some updates on the second stimulus checks. Really quickly, there's 5 different ways that this new organization called the TAS is going to be able to assist many of you guys in terms of being able to get your first stimulus check that you didn't get. This mainly affected those of you who were among the lower income earning bracket, many individuals on fixed income like SSI, Social Security, SSDI. So anyway, I'm going to go into that later on and explain how they're going to be able to help you get your first stimulus check. And also, President Trump had a briefing yesterday where he had to be emergency escorted. Yesterday, there was a shooting right outside of the White House. We'll touch on that, as well as President Trump also discussed when we can expect to receive the $400 per week federal unemployment insurance benefit. This past weekend, he signed off on 4 executive actions, so we'll go into that. And many of you guys were asking about PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, and also the EIDL, which is the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan Program. Now, with the PPP, it looks like the SBA has actually opened up its PPP forgiveness portal already. However, they're still having some issues because they're still trying to figure out, with regard to legislation in terms of the rules related to the forgiveness component to that. So just to let you guys know, the PPP portal is actually open, but the SBA is going to be a little bit delayed until legislation gets cleared up regarding that. Also, with regard to the EIDL, the grant money is not yet available. I know you guys want that to come back. I'm keeping my ear close to the ground. So as soon as that money becomes available, if it becomes available, I will definitely let you guys know. And for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Ron. We cover all things personal finance, entrepreneurship, how to make more money, how to develop multiple streams of income. So if you're interested in any of that, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And also, for those of you guys who have been reaching out to me regarding the Financial Freedom Coaching Program, I want you guys to know that it is still under development. It's not ready yet, but I want you guys to take this opportunity to drop me a comment down below and let me know if there's anything in there that you want me to make sure that I cover. I mean, you might be struggling with credit, investing, budgeting and saving, or how to create multiple streams of income. Just let me know down in the comments if you have anything that you want to make sure that I include in this program while this coaching program is still under development. But anyway, let's get right into it. So over the weekend, President Trump signed multiple executive orders, one of which was the $400 per week federal unemployment insurance benefits. Now, during the briefing yesterday, he was asked about when can we expect to receive that $400 per week. And here's what President Trump had to say about that.
Haley said earlier today that you've been working around the clock, so there's no delay to get these enhancement unemployment payments to Americans. Yeah. Can you give me your timetable? Are we talking next week, 2 weeks, a month?
See what is
within the next week or 2 that the states will be able to execute.
So, Mr. Secretary, you're saying when?
I think within the next week or 2, most of the states will be able to execute.
Got it.
All right, so you heard it from President Trump. Now we have our estimate on when we should be expecting to receive that money. And on a lighter note, it's been said many times by Republican senators that, many people are actually making more money from the unemployment insurance benefits than they would have earned from their regular jobs, right? So this article came out today and it was on CNN. Basically, they were saying that Foot Locker is booming as people spend their stimulus checks on sneakers. Now, according to the article, consumers have more money in their pockets thanks to government stimulus checks, and apparently many of them are using it at malls and online to buy new sneakers, which is great news for Foot Locker. So sneaker store Foot Locker released its second quarter results on Monday, and the shares of this company shot up 7% on this information, on this news. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that most people are just sitting at home, profiting, making more money from the unemployment insurance benefits? Or is this just kind of being overhyped? I'd love to know what you guys think about that. All right, so if you guys have been following my videos, you know that President Trump has signed 4 executive actions over the weekend, and out of the 4 executive actions, none of them included a second stimulus check. And of course, you know, everyone's like, well, why didn't he just throw that in there? Why didn't he sign off on the second stimulus check as well? But the reason why the president didn't just throw in the second stimulus check into the list of executive actions that he signed off on this past weekend is because the president alone doesn't have the authority to just authorize the Treasury to issue economic impact payments or stimulus checks. But the cool thing about these executive actions is that it's possible that the executive actions that he did take may actually force the second stimulus check to happen a little bit faster. So if you guys remember, the negotiations between the House of Representatives and the Senate ended last week on Friday. Basically, it was kind of like a stalemate. You know, there was no decision made. And, you know, the 2 biggest issues that were in disagreement between the House and the Senate was the amount of money allocated to state and local governments, as well as the amount of money allocated or provided to people, the unemployed, through the enhanced unemployment insurance benefits. The House wanted $600 per week, further extended throughout the year, and the Senate wanted to reduce that down to $200 to $400. Now, at the time, Republican negotiators were actually saying that the Democrats were unwilling to budget all on their demands. The Democrats rejected an offer to pass a smaller bill, and they also rejected an offer to extend the unemployment insurance benefits on a short-term basis. So according to the White House, this lack of flexibility caused President Trump to take executive actions. Now, just yesterday, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on CNN's State of the Union said that she's willing to compromise on the $600 enhanced unemployment benefits. And during the State of the Union, when she was asked, are Republicans right when they say that you will not come off of your $600 number, you will not come off of those figures, Nancy Pelosi responded, no, that's not why we're at a stalemate. And later on during the State of the Union, the host asked Nancy Pelosi if there's room for compromise on your end. And Nancy Pelosi responded, of course. Of course, there's room for compromise, but you have to see the entire package. Now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said that they're prepared to put more money on the table, but unfortunately, he didn't confirm when they're going to meet with the Democrats. He did say we're prepared to put more money on the table. Steve Mnuchin was interviewed by CNBC, and he said that we're prepared to put more money on the table. He also said we're not stuck at the $1 trillion, but we're not going to go to unlimited amounts of money. That don't make sense. Steve was also asked about the $100 portion of the $400 per week federal unemployment insurance that President Trump had signed during the executive actions this past weekend. And he claimed that 100% of the state's responsibility is actually coming from the federal government. And the reason why this is because the 25% that the state would actually be responsible for is literally coming from the earlier stimulus package money that was provided to the states. Essentially, the federal government is authorizing the states to be able to use this money to cover their portion of the federal unemployment insurance. Essentially, there shouldn't really be any state that can't cover it. And then on top of that, there's an additional $44 billion available to assist states that are short on funds. So at this point, as long as the federal unemployment insurance benefits kick in, as Trump and Steve Mnuchin have said earlier, in 1 to 2 weeks, essentially everyone who qualifies should receive the full $400 per week. So I read all the comments, you guys. I do my best to reply to as many people as I can. Just sometimes it's impossible for me to be able to keep up with all of you. But I did want to touch base on the fact that a number of you guys were letting me know that you still haven't received your first stimulus check. And of course, you're wondering, if you didn't get your first stimulus check, will you get your second stimulus check? Well, let's first talk about the first stimulus check if you're still missing it, all right? So basically, there's an organization called the Taxpayer Advocate Service. Now, this is an independent organization within the IRS that basically makes sure that taxpayers are treated fairly. Now, until recently, if you've been trying to find out what's going on with your first stimulus check, basically you had to go to the IRS website and try to navigate this poorly designed website and try to figure out how to get your money. And it's terrible. I get it. Now, the TAS has actually been around for a while, but until recently, they were not able to assist people with being able to get their first stimulus check. Now, before, they were able to kind of help you out with other tax-related issues with regard to the IRS, but now they're able to help out. So there was a recent post on the National Taxpayer Advocate blog, and basically they've been urging the IRS to find a way to get full payments to these individuals now, rather than forcing them to wait until they file a 2020 tax return in early 2021. Now, the TAS has admitted that the IRS has not yet committed to resolving all of the first stimulus check-related problems. However, there are 5 specific scenarios that the TAS will be able to help you out with if you haven't received your first stimulus check. Scenario 1, individuals who use the non-filer tax tool and claimed at least one qualifying child but did not receive the qualifying child portion of the EIP. Now the EIP just means, that's just stimulus check, but EIP means emergency impact payment. So instead of saying EIP, I'm just going to say stimulus payment because, or stimulus check, because that's what people know. The IRS will issue EIPs with respect to those qualifying children in the coming weeks. Scenario 2, eligible individuals who filed Form 8379, which is the injured spouse allocation, or can complete the return 8379 and did not receive their stimulus check. The IRS will issue the injured person's portion of the stimulus check in the coming weeks. Scenario 3, eligible individuals whose EIP was based on a 2018 or 2019 tax return where the IRS adjusted the return for a math error that negatively impacted the original amount of the EIP. For example, qualifying child, adjusted gross income, also known as AGI, or your filing status. The IRS can work with the taxpayer to resolve the math error. If appropriate, issue a payment for the additional EIP amount. Now, keep in mind, most of these issues have directly impacted those on Social Security receiving SSI or SSDI. Scenario 4, eligible individuals who are victims of identity theft and did not receive a stimulus check or did not receive the correct stimulus check amount. The IRS will adjust the EIP once the identity theft issue is resolved. And the last one is the scenario 5, eligible individuals who did not receive a stimulus check because they filed a joint return with a deceased or incarcerated spouse and their stimulus payment was not issued, was returned, or was canceled. The IRS will recalculate the stimulus check amount and issue it to the non-deceased or non-incarcerated spouse. So basically, those are the 5 scenarios that the TAS will be able to assist you with in terms of getting your first stimulus check. And as these issues are resolved, basically the same way you received your partial payment, if you received a partial payment, you should be receiving it the same way. Also, for those of you guys who haven't yet received your payment, I would recommend that you just hit the Get My Payment tool and make sure that your bank account information is up to date. That way, they can direct deposit you, or if your address has changed, make sure that that information is up to date. That way they can mail you a stimulus check to the correct address. And if you guys have any more questions, I'll drop a link down below so that you guys can reach out to the Taxpayer Advocate Service, and you can reach out to them if you have any more questions. All right, guys, that's all for this update. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I really appreciate you guys watching this video to the very end. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button and also consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.